Do you like my elephant? It's beautiful, isn't it? Well, this has been inspired by the Holi Day Festival of Colour from India, where people cover themselves in bright, colourful pigments. They also paint their elephants up all fancy like. So today I'll be painting this beautiful coloured elephant. But before I get into it, if you're not there now, then come over to montmarte.net, because we put all of our lessons up there first. We also have our Facebook and our Creative Connection attached to that. So let's get into it. First, we must draw up the elephant. So print out the PDF lesson plan attached to this lesson that can be found in the Mont Marte TV section in our webpage, and follow the image as closely as possible. I'm using a Mont Marte Kids Colour Clicker pencil in black because it's more visible and less slippery. I'm also exaggerating the ears a bit. Make sure you get the eye placement correct. Well, that's the main elements in, and we can add some paint. And we're going to start with the environment. Now, the environment's going to be fairly subtle and understated because the elephant is going to be very colourful, and I'm going to spend a fair bit of time on that. But the environment still needs to be in there because it anchors the elephant. So let's lay this in with some cobalt blue acrylic and some burnt sienna, and we'll leave it at that. I mix the cobalt with an equal amount of water. I do this to get a nice watercoloury translucence to my sky. I carve in some clouds and apply it with a gesso brush, because this finish works nicely, I think. I also want to get this environment done quickly, and I don't want to muck about. Because I've used so much water, the paint runs, so I just wipe it off with a paper towel while it's still wet. I then mix the burnt sienna in the same proportions and apply that. Well, that has taken absolutely no time to get it to this stage. You could soften that top coat and make it look really realistic, but I can't wait to start on my elephant. So let's squeeze out some black and apply it with the number 12 angle, and we'll draw in our outline and a bit of tone while we're at it. Mix the black paint to the viscosity of thickened cream so it runs nicely. And with a Mont Marte number 12 angle brush, follow the lines. Refer to the PDF in regards of where to lay the shadow. Although most of this will be covered by subsequent layers of paint, it is still important because it reminds us of where to lay the colour. In shading terms, think of how old black and white comic books were rendered. You can dry brush in a bit of shadow while you're at it. How far you take this stage is up to you, but I always like to think of the educational value of shape description when using a single colour, and I quite enjoy it. Well, that should do it for the black. I don't want to spend too much time on it, and because I want to get it done fairly quickly to retain that spontaneity, I'm going to take a more minimalist approach and break the elephant down into 3 varying tones of grey. The first grey, which will be the darkest, will mainly occupy the left-hand side of the elephant. And for any of these recipes or materials, make sure you have a look at that PDF I was talking about before at www.montmarte.net. So let's get painting. I'm using a tear-off paper palette. I really like this because when the paint is dry, you can just fold it up and bin it. The colours I'm using are ivory black, titanium white and neutral grey, all in equal amounts. And all in the Dimension Acrylic series. Again, refer to the PDF in regards of roughly where to lay in the paint and let certain parts of the black remain visible. This is how we are defining shape. In fact, there is no blending in this project at all. One must think in terms of block colour rather than transitions. Well, that should do it for the dark grey. The next grey, the middle grey, will mainly lie on this side of the trunk there. So let's mix that up and get it on. This next tone uses the same colours but is approximately mixed to 1 part black, 6 parts white to 8 parts neutral grey. I love the look one gets from laying a light colour over a darker one. I lay in the wrinkles on the trunk and I'm actually documenting the light. Our friend is all one colour, but it is how this colour presents itself in light. Leave some of that black around the eye show through, and all of a sudden our elephant is alive. Lay this mid-grey into the other ear and just let a little dark grey show through. I make my strokes erratic because it adds interest, I think. This is why I use a smaller brush than one would normally use. Again, more highlights, just apply it, follow those wrinkles. Time now for our third and final grey, which is very, very light and lies in areas of highlight, like up here for example. And refer to your PDF for some guidance. So let's get this final grey on. This is created from 8 parts white to 4 parts neutral grey to 1 part black. Don't forget to suggest that flooded light over the back and lay in some shade lines on those wonderful tusks. Time now to embellish my beautiful elephant, and I think that this is going to be the most fun part of the project. Now traditionally they would have used powdered dyes mixed with water, so I'm going to use some Mont Marte face and body art in the bright set. Another great aspect of using this face and body art is you can wash it off your elephant if you want to. So let's make her pretty. This part of the project is totally up to the artist. The only thing is to lay all the shapes in with the white paint from the body art set. Mix it with water and use the brush supplied. You might like to have a look on the net at how the Indians decorate their elephants. And of course, use a bit of your own creativity. Watching. I really hope that you enjoyed that. I loved painting it, and don't forget to contact us on Facebook if you haven't yet, because we'd love to meet you. Stay tuned because we've got some great lessons coming up, and remember to keep on painting.